Yo, it's Aidetund, and I'm doing another Caddicarus reaction video. As of me recording this like 10-ish days ago, I did a reaction on the banned games videos that Caddicarus did. And as of like right now, that video is about to hit 300 views. I'm pretty happy with how that video is doing. I want to test the waters again and doing another reaction video of Caddicarus. These aren't the only type of videos I'm going to be doing. I'm still going to do my reviews and those, you know, those type of videos, but I do every now and then want to do a reaction video. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. I know I got a recommendation to do the Jesus games video. I've heard that's a super good video. I'll do that one next, depending on how this video does and how the first reaction, if that one keeps getting views. But yeah, I'm doing the Depressing World of Bad Crash Bandicoot Games by Caddicarus. Oh, Bandicoot. Oh, did he do like a whole month on Crash Bandicoot?
I'm fine with the way things are. Yep, didn't you hear? The bricks and I are getting married. I love you. God, Bandicoot month is full of surprises, isn't it? I mean, we come together to celebrate Crash, it's my birthday month, and now I'm getting married to a wall. How much better could everything possibly get?
And also, I'm gonna try not to pause the video. Just because it's a pretty long video. But if there is the occasional jump cut, just know that's probably because I got an ad, but I did give him the ad revenue, and I'm watching, like, I don't have an ad block or anything. So, but if there's any jump cuts, it's probably just because I don't want the video to be super long, or there's an ad or something like that.
Well, yeah, I suppose I do have all of these ones. I'm not talking about them. Say what? Well, that was just lovely. Oh, bugger me. Oh, look, it's Cash Banuka. That was alright, wasn't it? Oh, look, it's Cash Banuka 2. That was great, wasn't it? Oh, look, it's Cash Banuka Wrapped. Oh, look, it's Cash Teat Rabies. Oh, look, it's Cash Twittinity. These were fantastic, weren't they? Oh, look, it's Cash Banuka, the Wrinkle of Cowpat. Oh, okay, that wasn't a very good one, was it?
Oh, well, that answers my question. That's the only one I have.
If you want a few games in a franchise to be respected as truly brilliant and given the eternal status of classic, you need to be able to compare it to its own failings, so that you're able to see how badly its own gameplay style that the franchise is famous for can be attempted. Sure, people liked Crash Bandicoot 1 a lot when it came out. I mean, check out this kids magazine I have talking about the best games ever made. They seem to think that Crash 1 was one of them, so it must be true. I mean, look at what they say about Samus in Metroid. We know that playing as a girl is a bit, well, girly. Ew, cuties. Real talk though,
Cuties.
Halo isn't a difficult game at all. You want to know what's really tough? SpongeBob, why do I have this magazine? But no matter how much people loved Crash 1, when Crash 2 came out and refined and improved basically everything, it was clear where the original should have been from the very beginning, and it looks kind of bad now. But that's just hindsight. When Crash 2 came out in '97, you could only say that with the new knowledge you gained as a hardcore Dorito gambler. Gaming technology improved around you, because at the time, nobody knew any better. This type of game was a new thing in 1996, so people didn't 100% know how good this new gaming formula could possibly get until they experienced it for themselves. I mean, Jesus, people played Pong in 1972 and they thought that video games had peaked. That's it, guys, we're not getting any better than this. Pack up and go home. Wait, it's in color now? And so it goes on. A sequel comes out, it improves itself. Another sequel comes out, it improves itself. And just when there's a few people that start complaining about that gameplay style getting a bit too repetitive and too old or stale, another sequel comes out which tries to fix all of those problems, which then makes those complainers realize how good they had it in the first place. That's how.
Yep, that's the one game I have, so I've
just finish making a game and then declare it classic immediately.
I'm assuming it's not that good. I don't know if he's going to talk about it that much this video.
The original Crash trilogy is classic because they remade them and they still hold up brilliantly today. The same can even be said about Crash's first attempt of a kart racer. Fantastic then, and fantastic as a remake even now. We also know these games are classics because its own series they came from really started pushing their luck when everyone started bitching about it. Now, where have I heard that before? Did someone call me? Yes, every franchise, whether it's about Dragon
Sonic.
or Blue Guinea Pig, suffers from this problem of sinking
Yep.
really damn low when trying desperately to spice up.
Sonic Frontiers was good though, but yeah, Sonic does not have a good track record.
Pillsbury Doughboy wasn't safe from this trend, and even though it makes us respect and appreciate their good games even more, they still exist. And when it comes to Crash, bless his little belly baton. Once Naughty Dog had nothing to do with him after 4 games in, nobody had a clue how to use it.
I've heard of that. I've heard that game from like a Scott the Wise video.
Side-scrollers. I my son, all in a desperate attempt to keep Crash relevant while completely ignoring what made him so popular and gave him a fan base to begin with. Did you ever wonder why the recently announced Crash 4 is carrying on from Crash 3 officially, despite Wrath of Cortex and Twin Sanity being labeled as Crash 4 and Crash 5 in Japan? All of these games are why, and we're gonna play them. Now, I have indeed taken a look at a few questionable games from Crash many years ago on this channel. Wrath of Cortex was one of them, and I'm not gonna bother looking at it in this video because I already went through it top to bottom in depth not that long ago. But suffice it to say, aside from the great controls, the enemies are pathetic and can barely touch you, the bosses from Crash 3 do nothing but poke you, Cortex's eyebrows have a mind of their own, the levels are way too big, Puka gets stuck floating in boxes, Monkey Bar swinging is slower than corpse decomposition, your eyes escape your head and float in mid-air, and Crash looks like an inflatable sex doll, which makes me want to be sick in my mouth. There's also this one level here where you can beat it to get the crystal by just letting go of the controller. Yes, I'm not joking about that. This is supposed to be a minecart race where you pick different routes to take to try and get in front of Crunch, and you don't need to press a single button and you will win. This game is a masterpiece. I also did do a video on Crash Bash, but that was back in 2012.
I completely forgot about that game. I forgot that game even existed.
Susan Wetwinky. And because that video is failures and getting them out of the way forever so that I never have to mention them again. These games I'll be talking about today have been heavily requested on my channel for years now, so sorry for the wait. I hope this is what you wanted. Oh wow, check it out.
Yeah, I completely forgot this game existed.
I reviewed this game when I was a clean-shaven child. The graphics as well are actually quite pleasant. The characters look good, and I don't know what I was talking about. This was the first Crash game to be picked up by another random developer after Naughty Dog lost the rights of the character to Universal. And that does spell bad news at the offset, but at least the new devs, Eurocom, didn't try to poorly replicate the original formula. They instead tried to do a Mario Party, but with a gorilla with an anus for a face. Doesn't mean the game is great though, despite it doing its own thing, because, spoiler warning, I don't think it's that great. Can we judge the game by the first world of adventure? No, we can't. Ignore him. Now, even though Crashly Bashly is a party game, if you're all by yourself, you can indeed play a single-player adventure mode. Ooh,
let me guess it's bad.
And in adventure mode, I decided to pick Cortex because when he's running, his hands turn into a canary. But you can't call this an adventure without a story. I mean, what do you think this game is? Hiking. So the intro cutscene clues us in on what's going on. In the most basic of terms, Aku Aku and Uka Uka are having an argument, which almost leads to the worst boxing match of all time because none of them have any arms.
Prepare to fight. No, Uka Uka. The ancients would not allow it.
And
no.
Aku Aku is right. Yeah, we've never done that before at all. No, we don't fight because the ancients won't let them do it. No, not even once. Don't want to piss off those ancients. Oh, by the way, who are the ancients? You know, if you picked the hero side, even Uka Uka says in the boss cutscenes,
Must first meet an old friend.
so if they're old friends, why are we fighting the bosses? If the bosses are evil and friends with Uka Uka, including the final boss, doesn't that mean that the evil side already wins this argument by default? What's going on? Why are we fighting them? Oh, don't worry, he's flat now. This story is a total disaster. No other words. It's as much of a mess as Tiny Tiger's character model. Cortex's hair, though, is on point. Look at it. It's so
Literally.
on point that it is a point. His hair
Yeah.
is so sharp he could open an envelope with it. So Crashticoot Bashticoot, like I mentioned earlier, is Mario Party for the entirety of the gameplay, but without the game board or dice to roll, and it's worse. You just win mini-games over
How most Mario Party ripoffs are.
Where some of these games on their own are totally passable and fun in their own right, where Crash Bash fails is with the tedium of it all. This is one of the most repetitive games I've ever played. In fact, it's so repetitive that in the first warp room, you get four-way pong, polar bear fighting, pogo stick bouncing, and 3D brawling. And then in the second warp room, you get four-way pong, polar bear fighting, pogo stick bouncing, and 3D brawling.
Really?
Sure, there's an additional game mechanic added in for the copies, but they're still copies. They feel exactly the same to play.
Yeah.
And many of these mini-games are copied up to 3 times throughout the adventure mode in different warp rooms, with nothing but a different coat of paint. And that's not all. Get this. In order to unlock the boss battles from each warp room, you need a certain amount of trophies. And no, your wife doesn't count. To get the trophy on one of these levels, you need to win the mini-game in question, not once, not twice, but 3 times. And this isn't a best out of 3 system or anything.
Oh
like
my
that. The game
gosh.
keeps on going until anybody in the match wins 3 times. Meaning that you could potentially replay the level 9 times in a row in order to win just 1 trophy. And that's assuming you even win on the 9th attempt. So you get the 4 trophies from Warp Room.
Yeah, imagine playing, going on the 9th attempt just to lose and have, like, that would suck.
Warp Room 2 has exactly the same minigame styles you just did, aside from 1 extra level you haven't seen before, and you still need to win them all 3 times each. And
That's
then
horrible.
All of a sudden, Boss 2 won't let you in because you need trophies, gems, and crystals to get inside. But where do you get the gems and crystals from, you bitch? Why? By going back through all the levels you've already replayed a million times over and replaying them again.
Oh.
But this time with an overly frustrating crutch, like randomly growing insta-kill mushrooms taking over the stage, or you beginning the stage with less health than everybody else. Yes, Engine, this is a great idea. When two giant missile-equipped...
This is them padding out the game time.
Just spin around and spit balls out of your mouth, I'll get them. So yeah, the single-player adventure mode, aside from the decent bosses, pretty horrendous. And unfortunately, unless you own a first edition black-labeled European version of...
Don't tell me it's rare.
Like I do, there's no code you can put in anywhere to unlock all of the multiplayer games straight away if you want to just jump into a match with a few friends. You have to go through the adventure mode and unlock everything in that tedious goddamn way. Otherwise,
That's horrible.
For a PS2 game. And hell, they even brought back the staples from CTR that made the adventure mode stand out in the first place, like the 3 token collection races, crystal grabbing arenas, and the time trial relic races. And since they already copied so much that worked from CTR, it would only make sense for them to copy the addictive, maniacal, and bouncy control style. But they don't. Nitro Kart feels like the developers witnessed the birth of a miracle child, and while the mother was still splayed, shoved it back in. Nitro Kart is an unbirthed baby that was already born. I need therapy. Even though you're not playing right now, you can probably see
After
the downgrade just from the
seeing that analogy.
No sense of speed or heaviness to the cars to make it feel like you're burning rubber against the terrain. It feels like you're floating along it. It's very flat and unreactive, which wouldn't be so bad if the jumping and drifting didn't feel limp and splatty, and the turning didn't feel like you were unfolding an ironing board, but it does. Especially with the highest speed, lowest turn characters, unless you're drifting, it barely feels like you even turn at all, and you even slow down if you hold a turn for too long, because clearly someone thought you weren't going slow enough. Even driving into the levels is a pain. Driving into the levels is difficult. Stop judging me, it's very hard. Why are you looking at me like that, Engine? Oh look, we've got a boss race heading our way. I wonder who will be fighting from the Crash universe today. Oh. Him. This delightful little cherub is called Crunk. Crash is dead. Oh wow, look at that. It's a bonus platform. You know what that means? Yeah, we've got an extra racing game to look at. So welcome everybody to the Caddicarus Bounds Round.
Bounds. What the fuck is happening?
Yep, just when you thought they couldn't mess it up anymore and that they should have let Crash Team Racing die with dignity, here we have another Crash
Tag Team Racing.
Tag Team Racing. But it's okay because Jetix Magazine says it's the best Crash game ever. And everyone knows who Jetix Magazine is. Hey everyone, it's me, your favorite primetime family-friendly YouTube superstar, Jump! So immediately, I do have to give Tag Team Racing some credit. The story mode here is at least something different and not another random alien invasion. The plot here is that you're battling Cortex and accidentally stumble into a theme park built entirely for roller coasters and racetracks. Is that a wang? And you get roped into recovering the power sources for each of the theme park's lands that were mysteriously stolen from Von Clutch over here. But we're only helping him to do that because whoever does help him wins ownership of the entire park, which Cortex really wants to do, and we can't let him.
Why? Why does he? Why are we trying to stop him from owning a theme park? What is?
That sounds like a character from an adult movie.
What is such?
Brandy's cooch.
Yeah, probably that one. So Tag Team Racing is yet another Crash Kart racer, if you couldn't tell. It's CTR and Nitro Kart again, but with a million extra pointless mechanics, and in my opinion, it's even worse. The controls are unbearably stiff. The track designs are the opposite of interesting. The shortcuts barely mean anything. The music is boring. The engaging and skill-based jumping drift to boost system has been totally removed and replaced with an awful power slide move that doesn't even help that much and makes this noise whenever you use it. But the worst thing about it, to me at least, is the main gimmick that separates this racer from the rest. The clashing system. In any race at any time, the character you pick can turn into a ghost and clonk their way into another car of your choosing to merge with them. And as we all know, nobody can clink the clonk as good as Crash Badinky Donk. By doing this, you briefly turn the game into Mario Kart Double Dash, but for war criminals, since you can swap between driving the car or aiming a weapon that has now attached itself onto the car in order to blow up everyone else until you run out of ammo. On paper, this sounds like the coolest addition ever. It's like Crash Team Racing meets Twisted Metal, especially since there's plenty of characters with unique weapons, there's loads of vehicle types with different defense, speed, and handling options, and plenty of unique visual combinations for certain cards clashing together. But all of this falls apart like soggy bread once you realise that you only need to clash with one car, and then you've automatically won every single race. Engine. You see, Engine's weapon he has are these rockets, and they are so overpowered, I'm pretty sure they could be used in tactical warfare. With these rockets, you mow everybody down with no effort, 1 to 2 hits max with splash damage. And whenever you're gunning, the CPU in the driver's seat goes around the track as... Well, this cartoon says otherwise. Cartoon? You don't even know the half of it, mate. Oh, no. Extreme Rescue Mission! Oh, my God. What is this? I was on the Wampa Islands and about to free my friend Tawna from
Oh
the clutches of
my
the evil
gosh.
Dr. Neocortex. Is this show trying to get a rise out of me? Because it's working. You can make a strong argument in favor of that show. You're getting a rise out of me, Skylanders. Yeah, I'm angry. I'm rising, I'm rising like a souffle! I'm sorry, but what in God's unholy pants is this? I don't care if this show is any good. Judging by this inclusion of Crash, I really don't care. Pure and simple, this is not Crash Bandicoot. This is not the point of his character. He's a mute dumbass meant to tribute other mute dumbasses in old Warner Brothers cartoons. So not only give him a voice, but a brain is completely missing the point. Crash is planning. He doesn't plan.
I didn't even know he was in like a Skylanders thing.
This is going to be controversial, I know, but I honestly prefer the horrible Crash 2 promo video version of Crash over this, because at least Crash wasn't a fully established character at that point, and he was still an idiot in that. They could have used it if they needed a character like this. It's 2016 when we were constantly teased a Crash game on PS4 after 8 years of silence. To then have Sony go on stage and just mention casually, oh yeah, we're working on some remasters, and then go off and show a trailer for a game which had nothing to do with Crash directly, but instead had him as a cameo with one additional level to that game, felt like a little bit of a joke. People were not happy about this announcement back then. Remember, this was before we had seen anything to do with the Insane trilogy, and after all of the games that had spiraled Crash off downhill. This was Crash's official PS4 comeback. So to see him coming back on PS4...
That is a dope figure. I do really like that figure.
...was a bit of a bait.
Your old friend Spyro.
What? You mean the one I threw Molotovs at? There's tons of Easter eggs, subtle nods and references to the older games, really pretty visuals, and a decent sense of humor to boot.
The real Crash Bandicoot came all the way out here to see my prized crate collection.
So it sounds really great so far, right? Well, I'm afraid it kind of isn't. This is the slowest thing I think...
It is in the Bad Crash Bandicoot games video, after all.
I touched the floor yesterday. Look, say what you want about the quality of the gameplay or the ethics behind Crash being in Skylanders after an 8-year gap of nothing. Regardless if you love or hate Skylanders, how can anybody be okay with the slug-like speed you move? Isn't this supposed to be a fast-paced action game for kids? I run pretty quick in the home world. What's going on over here? And I know this is for kids, but hey, the original trilogy were for kids too, and they were never this easy. You just run around and hit stuff with like 2 or 3 buttons while doing the occasional jump, repeated ad nauseum. It really is
baby's first beat 'em up, and that wouldn't be so bad except you move along as fast as cheese on toast. It doesn't matter what extra moves you purchase or whatever, you still end up doing the simplest button mashing combos and nothing else. And often that's the best way to get past any combat encounter, because the singular powerful moves that take a long time to wind up don't do as much damage as a quick 1-2-3 combo with your basic punches. And annoyingly, the slowness coupled with the repetitive simplicity is what ends up ruining so many more encounters throughout the game. At this point, you don't have a guard, dash, or roll, just a run, jump, and attack.
To tell you the truth, I really can't. What you're seeing here, this is the game. Whether by your lonesome or riding on the back of a demented pig, you are pressing the same buttons, fighting the same waves of enemies, and getting by the most rudimentary of platforming sequences with barely anything resembling thought being needed to carry on. Gotta be honest, I don't like tag team racing, but at least the world was more interesting to explore. This is just unpalatable. There's nothing technically wrong with it, but it's easily the most boring game of the bunch, with nothing standing out, nothing special about it, and nobody making a joke about Crash possessing monsters being called Jackie. And it doesn't matter how good your game is at that point, if it's boring, you've lost me.
That's the best, or best, that's like the easiest way to make a bad game, is like, even if it functions fine, if it's boring, I would much rather play a game that doesn't function as it's supposed to, but at least, like, that was my main problem with like Balan Wonderworld and Sonic Forces. Yeah, they functioned fine. Yeah, they worked, but they were just boring.
Basic platforming, new character designs, new new unexplained abilities, and a new universe for the characters to explore that's given no build-up, backstory, or context. Only difference is, in Crash of the Titans, you don't disappear. And do you want to see where I couldn't take it anymore? Right damn here. This is apparently Uka Uka. Yes, this Uka Uka. Way to completely toss aside your old fans that you're still trying to attract back into the series after the platforming apparently got too stale. I mean, I think that it's a cool as hell mask design on its own, but
Yeah.
it is not Uka Uka.
Yeah.
Take the Mojo and Bandicoot female back to our base.
That's my Nan and Cortex. My goodness. You know, I've heard people complain about Cortex's look in Crash Bandicoot 4, and here I am saying, huh? You serious? You can always end up looking like this. Cortex here looks like a cross between a toddler and an old man. Or a balding Pinocchio. Aha! Bonjour everyone and welcome back to my show. It's me, Sam Witch, and today we're going to be cooking up all of the shit that you never wanted to eat, sticking it into the microwave and reheating it for you.
Oh boy.
Mind over mutant. Come on then, let's get this over with. My name is Limes. The first mission of this game is a tutorial gauntlet where Crash's sister Coco sends us off to look for a load of Coco parts, and I really don't think her brother should be doing that. After that, I hate to report, it's exactly the damn same game as Titans. No exaggeration, it's the same game, except Crash overdid the steroids in his shins. And now he has short shorts. Is that a lump? Oh wait, no, I'm telling a lie. There is something else a little bit different here. There's, a kids art pack? What's all of this then? Oh wow, are these fan arts from children?
Hey, that's kind of cute.
In the menus of this game just to be cute? Oh dear. Crash is in a mankini. You know what? I'm gonna call it. I don't think this is kids fan art. I'm willing to bet that this was official concept art, because holy crap, this is the worst design of Crash I think I've
that
ever
looks
seen.
awful.
He looks like a gangly 30-year-old.
This is like the nuts and banjo, or it's like the nuts and bolts of Crash in terms of design.
Crash 4 or the Insane Trilogy even? Just look at this climbing animation. Look at it. Is this Crash Bandicoot or The Exorcist? To be fair to Mind Over Mutant though, even though it is the same game as Titans and the character designs have been left in the toilet, I've got to say, this is basically just a better version of Titans when it comes to the gameplay. From the start, you've got way more fighting moves to work with, including a last-minute dodging and counter-attack move to really let you get into the combat mechanics and let you think about what buttons you have to press. And you get more moves for all the platforming you'll be doing, the platforming itself being 10 times more interesting and involved than in Crash of the Titans. Feeling a lot like Twinsanity in places, actually. Not to mention, hijacking the Titans for fighting has more uses, since they don't only have their own unique special moves that can not only benefit you in combat, but also aid you in exploration and getting to secret areas. Even better, you can jump on and off any Titan you want to at any time and store them on your equipping slot, and you just need to press the equip button again to get straight back on them, making the flips between combat and Crash exclusive climbing and platforming feel way more natural and of the moment. The Titans feel like an extension to Crash instead of just something that you do every so often. You're not just going through the motions of hitting a single attack button over and over again. This is not half bad. I'd happily play this over Titans anyway.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is still a simplistic kids beat 'em up game. No escaping it. And it's really damn easy.
Another person balancing on the other end would make it much easier.
Oh, was I not supposed to be able to do that? And to be perfectly honest, it was monotonous and mindless, a little bit worth it to watch all of the cutscenes linking each level segment together. These are the best cutscenes in any Crash game, no kidding. And for each level, they're done in a different cartoon style. There's flash animation, hand puppets, olden-timey, and the script.
That is kind of cool.
Is perfect. I'd even argue it's better than what Twinsanity had to offer in terms of humor. Just check out some of the gags that they somehow got away with here and tell me that you didn't crack a smile.
Yes, it is I, Embryo. My name sounds like fetus. Call now and you'll also receive neckbeard in a can. Can't talk? Watch the monkeys. Look at the monkey. Oh, right in his own mouth. Stare and dream. Stare and dream. Soon to be available everywhere in Arkansas. Punch him in the throat. Not my throat. I need that for swallowing.
These are all so fast-paced, funny, expressive, and creative that I'm pretty convinced that Mind Over Mutant was originally supposed to be an animated series or something, but got rejected at the pretense of it being for a character from a video game, and so they were told by executives that they would prefer a video game, so then they just copied and pasted the ideas and mechanics from Crash of the Titans into here so that they could show you all the animated sequences they made. I don't know. I smell a conspiracy here. Oh, hang on. That's just fish. I'm in the market. So I wasn't expecting this in the slightest, but this mini marathon of the post-Naughty Dog Crash Bandicoot games, ended on a weirdly positive note.
Yeah, that one wasn't that bad.
It's not that bad. I mean, it's
Oh,
not great. I
stole
wouldn't
my
go out of my
words.
way to willingly play it again, but it's a lot better than the other toss we've seen today. But overall, when you see the Crash Bandicoot 4 announcement trailer and hear this little exchange at the end of it,
How many times have you beaten this clown anyway? 3. Really? Only 3? Funny. Seemed like more.
I can totally understand now why they decided to split
Yeah.
the timeline after Crash 3 and pretend like the other games didn't happen. However good or bad you think these games were as the next main Crash installments, nobody can deny that they were all over the bloody place in terms of focus
Yeah,
and direction.
definitely.
Which eventually led to the original trilogy getting the insane remakes in the first place. People just wanted to go back to the good, solid stuff that everyone knew, everyone loved, was really tightly designed, and what made Crash great and lovable to begin with. None
Yeah.
of this sack. Crunch? What the hell are you looking at right there? Yes, that is a nice chest. The racing games were kept on life support for far too long. Titans was a dated bore. Mutant was a mediocre attempt to keep that new gameplay style going. And Skylanders wasn't even a Crash game. The only one I can see some potential in is with Crash Bash, considering how long-lasting Mario Party has been and how well-received Super Mario Party was on the Switch. I'd love to see them tackle this kind of game again, especially with the huge roster of characters in CTR Nitro Fueled, including cameos from Spyro. I think we can
Yeah,
get a really
maybe.
damn good-looking and incredibly fun party game with lots of characters duking it out. With that, though, comes the conclusion of yet another Bandicoot month. So, thank you so much for joining me this year.
I didn't know he did like a whole Bandicoot month.
And even though nowadays Naughty Dog is spending far too much time being naughty dogs, I'd like to end this video with a thank you. Because without you, Naughty Dog, I wouldn't be here right now. But do you have a copy of Smash Brandy's Cooch?
Okay.
Follow me on Instagram.
And then the last one didn't look that bad. The what was it called? The mutant. Was that what? Which one was that? The one? It didn't look that bad. I mean, it was like it didn't look good, but I feel like, in my opinion, that one's probably the best of the bunch. Let me know what videos I think if these reactions continue to do well. I think I'll do the Jesus Games video next. Either that'll be my next video or that'll be a few videos down the line. I don't know. But give me some more recommendations. Let me know which ones you guys want to see me react to. These are the only two I've seen. Okay, actually, well, I watched one video on my free time because I couldn't help myself. I think it was the Lego video. I did watch that one on my free time, so don't recommend that one because that would be a fake reaction because I've already seen that one. But any of the other ones, feel free to let me know which ones you guys want me to check out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. You can check out my previous reaction. I'll probably leave a little card or something right here. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.